My fiance let his sister hijack our wedding, then slapped me when I pushed back, so I left. I thought I knew Roy. We met sophomore year in the campus library, joked over a statistics book, and started dating a month later. When I got into grad school, he cried. 8 months ago, we got engaged. My dad hired a planner and told me to design the day I wanted. Budget wasn't a problem for his only daughter. Then Kim moved back. She's Roy's older sister. I'd met her twice, and she seemed fine. The week she returned, she started showing up to everything. She was at the florist and at the cake tasting. I tried to include her. She didn't just share ideas, she took control. She said our pastels looked washed out and pushed jewel tones. She said the string quartet was boring, and we needed a DJ. She said the orchids I loved were pretentious. Each time I looked at Roy, hoping he would say, let's stick with what we chose. He didn't. He said, it doesn't matter, or she's just trying to help. The coconut pudding is where I cracked. It was my grandmother's recipe. She made it for every birthday I had. She died 2 years ago. I wanted that dish on the menu to feel like she was with me. The caterer tested it and said yes. Kim read the draft menu and said she was allergic to coconut. Roy didn't ask a question. He told me to remove it and said I was selfish. I offered to keep one small bowl at the bride's table so Kim could avoid it. He said that would make her feel excluded and told the planner to strike it. I signed the revised menu with my hands shaking. Dress day should have been happy. My mom and my best friend came. I tried on dress after dress. When I put on an emerald green gown with small beadwork on the bodice, I felt sure. My mom covered her mouth and cried. I was about to say yes when Kim walked in. Roy had texted her where we were. She looked me up and down and said, green isn't your color. Roy told me to try the rose gold dress. I did. It was fine. I bought it to keep the peace. Then we picked outfits for the families. Kim lifted a dress for herself. It was the exact emerald green gown I had loved. Same cut, same beading. She held it to her body in the mirror and said, this is gorgeous. I'm getting it. My mom's jaw dropped. My best friend tensed. I set my bag on a chair and walked outside. Roy followed me into the parking lot. He told me I was being dramatic. I told him his sister had pushed into every choice. I said I needed him to stand up for us. I said this was our day, not Kim's. His face went cold. He said I was jealous of Kim. He said I would never be as talented or kind or beautiful as his sister. I said maybe he should marry Kim if she was so perfect. His hand came up. The slap snapped my head to the side. My cheek burned. For a second, the world went quiet except for my breath. I touched my face and stared at him. Neither of us saw my dad coming across the lot. He had moved the car closer and was walking back. He's 6'2", a former Marine who ran crews on job sites. He saw Roy's hand drop. He didn't speak. In 4 strides, he was there. My dad hit Roy once, straight to the solar plexus. Roy folded and dropped to his knees, breathing in sharp little gasps. My dad stood over him and said, calm and low, if you ever touch my daughter again, there will be consequences. Then he put his arm around me and steered me to the car. I held my cheek and stared at the dashboard while he drove. My skin throbbed where the slap landed. That night, Roy's mom called from the ER. She said the doctors found bruised ribs, but nothing broken. She apologized and said she had no idea Kim had been acting like that. She asked if I was safe. I said yes. Kim didn't call. I didn't sleep. In the morning, I put the ring in its box. I asked my dad to drive me to Roy's apartment. Roy opened the door with a rough, hey. His eyes were red. He said he was sorry and that he didn't mean it. He said stress made him say things he didn't believe. I held out the box. I told him I wouldn't marry a man who hit me or a man who let his sister run our life. I set the ring on the entry table and stepped back. He reached for my arm and stopped when my dad stepped forward from the hall. I said I was leaving. Roy asked if we could talk later. I shook my head. I told him my decision was final. I walked to the car with my dad and closed the door. My cheek still throbbed. My phone buzzed and I let it ring. The seatbelt clicked across my chest as we pulled away. Now his family are saying I'm overreacting for ending it. Was I wrong for it?